Hello once again, everybody. Going to give you a rundown on what happened in the world of college football, at least concerning schools in the Sun Belt Conference and the SEC in opening weekend right here on ESPN1420.com. First off, Louisiana's Raging Cajun football team opened up their 2009 regular season schedule by defeating the Southern Jaguars in the annual Herbert Hyman Classic. The Cajuns win that one Saturday evening at Cajun Field by the final score of 42-19. Southern actually had the lead early in that game at 12-7 before the Cajuns reeled off 35 unanswered points en route to the big opening week victory. Good game for a Raging Cajun quarterback, Chris Mason. Mason, 18 of 24 for 283 yards, 2 touchdowns in a very efficient game. And also on the ground, Andres Sales eclipsed the 100-yard mark. Sales, 19 carries for 114 yards and a touchdown. The Cajuns had 533 yards of total offense in that game. A record crowd on hand at Cajun Field to watch it, too. Not only a record crowd at Cajun Field, but also a record crowd to watch a Sun Belt Conference school play. Over 41,000 on hand. As a matter of fact, 41,357 the official attendance. Cajuns back in action this coming Saturday evening as they play host to Big 12 member Kansas State. That will be a 6 o'clock kickoff time at Cajun Field. You can hear the broadcast beginning with the pregame show at 5:30 on Sports Radio ESPN 1420 and on our sister station, the new Hot 107.9. Meanwhile, other Sun Belt Conference schools in action on opening weekend. 2 Sun Belt Conference schools actually play on Thursday evening. The Troy Trojans, the preseason favorite to capture the regular season Sun Belt Conference championship, beat up on their first night as Troy falls to Bowling Green by the final score of 31-14. Troy actually had a 14-7 lead at halftime, but Bowling Green outscored the Trojans 17-0 in the fourth quarter en route to the 31-14 victory. How about North Texas, though? The Mean Green, after capturing only 1 victory last year, go up to Muncie, Indiana, and knock off the Ball State Cardinals. Now, it's a different year, of course, but Ball State ranked in the top 25 a large part of last year. North Texas wins that one by the final score of 20-10. All the rest of the Sun Belt Conference schools in action on Saturday. Western Kentucky falls to Tennessee 63-7. It was Middle Tennessee dropping a 37-14 decision to Clemson. Other action had Louisiana Monroe falling to the second-ranked Texas Longhorns 59-20 in Austin, Texas. Arkansas State beats up on Mississippi Valley State. Red Wolves win that one 61-0, and it was number 24 Nebraska defeating Florida Atlantic by the final score of 49-3. Again, Cajuns in action this coming Saturday, hosting Kansas State at Cajun Field, 6 o'clock kickoff time. The rest of the Sun Belt Conference schedule coming up this week. It'll be Troy traveling to take on number 1 Florida. Arkansas State is at number 24 Nebraska. North Texas will play host to the Ohio Bobcats out of the Mid-America Conference. Memphis, or should I say Middle Tennessee, will play host to Memphis. It'll be Louisiana Monroe playing host to Texas Southern. Florida International will travel to number 5 Alabama, and it'll be Western Kentucky playing host to South Florida. The LSU Fighting Tiger football team opened up their 2009 regular season schedule by defeating the Washington Huskies 31-23 Saturday evening in Seattle, Washington. Certainly wasn't easy. LSU was actually outgained in the game. Washington had 478 yards of total offense compared to just over 300 for LSU. As a matter of fact, 321 for the Tigers. Jordan Jefferson, the LSU quarterback, 11 of 19 for 172 yards, 3 touchdowns in the game. LSU was aided by a 29 interception return for a touchdown by former Acadiana High standout Jacob Cotrera. So LSU victorious in that matchup again over Washington. 31-23 Saturday evening in Seattle, Washington. Tigers are going to be back in action this coming Saturday as they actually open up SEC play and the home opener for the Tigers as they play host to the Vanderbilt Commodores. That will be a 6 o'clock kickoff time at Tigers Stadium in Baton Rouge. The rest of the SEC school board from this week. One SEC team actually in action on Thursday evening. The South Carolina Gamecocks survived North Carolina State by the final score of 7-3. Kentucky defeats Miami of Ohio 42-0. We talked about it earlier as Tennessee routs Western Kentucky 63-7. Mississippi State wins their opener over Jackson State 45-7. It was Georgia, number 13 Georgia, falling to number 9 Oklahoma State in the matchup of 2 top 25 teams. The Cowboys win that one 24-10. Auburn survives Louisiana Tech 37-13. It was Arkansas pasting Missouri State 48-10. Top-ranked Florida defeats Charleston Southern 62-3. Vanderbilt wins their opener, blanking Western Carolina 45-0. Number 5 Alabama, in a matchup of two top 10 teams, defeats number 7 Virginia Tech 34-24. And we mentioned LSU's victory over Washington 31-23. One game also played on Sunday as Ole Miss wins their opener, defeating the Memphis Tigers out of Conference USA 45-14. SEC games coming up this week. It'll be top-ranked Florida playing host to Troy. Tennessee will play host to UCLA. Auburn will play host to Mississippi State in an SEC matchup. We mentioned LSU hosting Vanderbilt. It'll be number 13 Georgia hosting South Carolina in another SEC matchup. And in a non-conference matchup, number 5 Alabama will play host to Florida International. The New Orleans Saints will open up their 2009 regular season schedule this Saturday. Make it Sunday afternoon at the Louisiana Superdome as the Saints play host to the Detroit Lions. Kickoff time in that one is set for 12 noon. You can hear all regular season Saints games on our sister station, Acadiana's official Saints station, 97.3 The Dog. Don't forget the Ricky Bustle Show, live each and every Monday evening from Baja Sports Grill on Bertrand across from Cajun Field. Jay Walker's your host. He'll be joined by Raging Cajun head football coach Ricky Bustle. That takes place every Monday evening from 7 until 8 o'clock right here on Sports Radio ESPN 1420 and ESPN1420.com. That's a look back at last week, a look ahead toward this week. You're watching the football preview and review right here on ESPN1420.com.